I would like you to listen to this lady. She is the co-chair of the RNC. RNC means the Republican Party, the party that won the last USA election in 2024. What she's going to explain in this video is how they were able to stop cheating, how they were able to stop any form of rigging during the elections. So what she said here is very important for us as well-meaning Nigerians and Peter Obi supporters going forward into this election in 2027. What she said in this video makes a lot of sense. So I would like us to listen to what she said, the strategy they adopted, and how they went about it. So I would like you to listen, and then we'll come back and then we'll discuss it. So please watch what she said.
And so Michael Watley and I said, all right, what is it that we really need to focus on? And we really identified three things. We said we want to have a world-class convention, we want to get out the vote, and we want to protect the ballot. And we're going to focus on just those three things. And anyone who has ideas otherwise, quite frankly, maybe this isn't the right place for you. So we certainly restructured some of the staff there at the RNC, to say the least, initially. And then we really said, all right, if we are going to really make sure that this is a free, fair, and transparent election, then we have to talk about it. We have to get out there and we have to make sure that people understand that someone is watching and that there will be eyes every time a vote is cast and counted. And in the room, people who we can trust to say, things are going well in this district, things are not going well over here. And the way we said that we needed to do that is we felt like we had to go to every single battleground state and we had to get local media to cover the fact that we were going to have this huge election integrity push. So we opened offices all over the country, these election integrity offices, where we actually train people in terms of what you need to look for, how to be a poll watcher or a poll worker. These are people who are actually, physically there in the locations, hand you your ballot, they tell you what to do whenever you go in to vote. We could train those people. And so whenever we would open up one of these election integrity offices, Michael Watley, the chairman, would be there. I would be there. We had great people like Pam Bondi, the former AG of Florida. We had Matt Whitaker. We had a group of people who would go so that we could garner some local press, because not everybody, gets their news from the traditional sources of, the media apparatus, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. They get local news. They might turn on their 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock news every day, and that's what they see on their local station. They don't have cable. And so we said, we've got to get this local media attention on this so that people know we're doing this work and they know someone is watching and they know that they can go out and vote and it will count and it will matter. And so that's sort of how we started it. And then we said, all right, we're going to have to get people to come be part of this team. We're going to recruit people. And we put a really lofty goal out for ourselves of 100,000 people to work in these polling locations as poll watchers and poll workers. And we got 230,000 people, Liz, at the end of this, trained as poll watchers and workers all across the country. We blew through the 100,000. And we were kind of nervous, to be honest, to kind of put that out there. And then on top of that, we also needed to get some lawyers. We had to have lawyers every time you had, in these swing states, you needed people there who were going to be watching, who could identify problems, who could directly, deal with those problems if they occurred. And we had 6,500 lawyers spread out across the country who we trained. And most of these people, by the way, were volunteer attorneys. We taught them election law, what they needed to know for that moment and for the day or the week that they might volunteer. And that's how we were able to ensure that we indeed had a free, fair, and transparent election. Obviously, we're very pleased with our outcome.
Yeah, it's fascinating to hear you detail this, because this is, what you're describing is a massive operation. This is not just walking into an office and firing employees that are wasting time and money. This is a huge, huge undertaking. I know some of the lawyers that worked for you. Almost every smart conservative attorney that works in the media and politics was part of this, which is to say a lot of very impressive people were part of this.
So I'm sure you heard what she said. You heard the things that she mentioned there. Number one, she said they were clear. They wanted to have a good convention, and then they wanted to mobilize people to come out and vote. And the third one was to protect the ballot, to protect the vote. Now, this is the USA. So we are not talking about some third world country. We're talking about the USA, the country that is seen as where democracy is best practiced. And the leading party in that country was also having protection of votes, protection of ballot as a priority. So much so that they spent a lot of money, a lot of energy, and a lot of time on that. So that sends message. Now you can imagine that they did not leave that work for the electoral body of that country. They did not leave that work for the police. Of course, they have one of the best police in the world. They did not leave it for their military. Of course, they also have one of the best in the world. Yet, this party, they made it a priority to be able to ensure that the ballots were protected. So you can see that. So if such was part of their plan in the USA, how much us who are in Nigeria? So that is the first thing that I would like to bring to our notice, that these people did not leave anything to chance. These people did not say they have one of the best police or they have one of the best electoral bodies in the world. No, they have all those things, but they took out their time, their resources to plan on how to protect the ballot, to protect the vote. Another thing, so and she now began to explain what they did and how they did it. She mentioned they employed about 230,000 people for this job. They employed 230. That is massive. So that is one of the things that they did. Another thing they did, which is worth mentioning, is that they went to the media. Going to the media was very, very nice for two reasons. Number one, it gives the public the confidence that their votes will count, and then it will make them to come out to vote. So going to the media to talk about it, to sensitize the people that, look, your votes will count, we will protect your vote. It will give people that confidence to come out. Secondly, it will also send message to those who would want to come and bring to steal the votes and to disrupt the election, that hey, the other opposition, they are also planning something. So that is that about the media. And then they also opened offices. You can imagine opening offices across the country that they called election integrity offices. I mean, you can see all the things they did, and of course, they employed plenty lawyers for the election on the election day. Now, my point is that in the USA, a developed country, that a major party was going to an election and they prepared in this manner to protect the ballot. So if they were able to do it that way, how much more us who are in Nigeria going for an election against APC? So we need to even prepare more. The strategy must not be the same, because our system and the way our own things work are not the same. But the idea is my point, that we don't have to wait and trust on INEC and then trust the police or the military to do this job for us. That strategy has to be in place. Plans have to be in place, okay, so that we'll be able to say that people's vote, we will protect it, we will be able to prevent rigging and cheating, and then up to the National Coalition Center. So this should be a priority for every obedient, for every opposition, and for every Peter Obi supporter. So whatever party we finally move in, I believe is Labour Party that we're in, we need to have these as part, and if not even the most important plan that we will have, how to protect the vote, how to stop cheating. This should be the priority. We don't have to trust INEC, we don't have to trust the police, we don't have to trust the military. We have to provide our own within the law, within the system, so that we'll be sure that we protect the votes. That is what I saw from that video. Thank you so much, and God bless you.